Hello, I welcome you all in my channel Summary AI. This class we are going to see how we can send emails, attachments from Python. So to start with, I have already created a .py file and I'm going to import few libraries which are going to be useful. So first thing is I import OS and then I'm going to import SMTP lib. So this SMTP lib is very useful when we are connecting to any client, email clients, and also we can define what is going to be client type and everything. So this library will be used for that. And then the last thing what we are going to use is email message library, and this library will help us write email messages easily in more definable way. It's like there is other way also to write messages, email messages. How we are going to, it's like you create multiple different strings and just add it, right? That is another way to do it, but this way it will be more easier. There is a library called email message, you can use that. Okay, so now we have this three libraries already imported. So first thing is like before connecting to any Gmail account or using any Gmail account, what we require? We require to access the URL, and then we require user ID and password, right? And then we can write our email message. And right, so the first thing is like we require user ID and password, right? So first thing, like I already created my email ID password in my environmental variables. Okay, so I'm just going to call that out. So I'm just going to create a variable called email user and os dot environment dot get. Okay, and if you don't know how we can create environment variables and how you can store your email ID and passwords, you can see my other video. I'll put the link in the description. You can see that video. That's like 4 or 5 minute video. You can just simply check it out, and then you will know how you can create this. And this is very good way, guys, to hide your user ID and passwords. So I will encourage you that we try that out. Okay, so right now if you see, I'm actually using my environment variable to fetch the email ID and the password for this one, and I can have multiple accounts here. Whichever I want to use, I can use it, right? So now I am using, so this is my name of the variable which I created in the environment variable, right? And I'm just calling it, I'm just getting it here, and I'm storing to the email user which I'm going to use in this script. Okay, so let me increase the size of this one. Okay, this will be more visible clearly. Okay, so now we have a user ID and password ready, which we can use. So what else we require? We require a email message now, right? We require a message. So first thing is like uh, this email message, this import. Now this is going to help us. So first thing, I'm going to store this email message into message, so it will be easy to use. Okay, so message equal to email message. Okay, and now, okay, so in message, what do we generally have, right? So in message, first thing we give is the subject, right? So write subject. Okay, and let's say my subject is interview. Okay, I'm just sending this message for interview. Next thing I would have is like um, what is the from, right? What is the from? So let's say in from, what I will do is like this email user is also a email ID, guys, right? This is my email ID. So this is my email ID. So what I can do, I can use this user itself because I'm logging with this one, right? So from I will not change. I will just use the same user. Okay. And let me copy this. And two also I'll give the same. So I'll send the email from my address to my address only. Okay. So I can just show you that. Okay. And let's do this. So now in the body, right, in the content, right? In the content, what we will put, we'll put a simple one liner. So message dot set content. If you see, I'm just writing set, I'm getting this option, right? Set content, select that, right? And put some message here. So let's be prepared. Okay. All the best. Okay. I'm just giving this message. Okay. Now, okay. So our this message content is ready. Okay. So our subject is ready, from, to, and the body, right? So this is now ready. Now, but till now, if you see, we have the user any password which we can use. We have an email complete, message and everything is ready. So all this information is ready, right? Now, till now we have not connected to the client. I mean, when you actually go use your Gmail, you go to you write gmail.com, and that is how you connect using your browser, and then you put all this information. Without that, we cannot put this information, right? So now the second thing is, like, after this I want to connect with the our Gmail client, right? Our clients needs to be called out, right? So for that I can write this, I'll just put a loop so it will be easy, because if I have to loop other things also, I can do it, right? So I'll just create with loop, and here I'm just going to call smtp lib, and there is a, yeah, there is a library function called SMTP SSL. So I'm going to use that SMTP SSL. I'm going to use SSL to connect. And if you're using Gmail, right? If you're sending for Gmail, then you have to use smtp.gmail.com. Okay, because we are connecting to Gmail, and uh, for Gmail there is a port for SSL is 465. So connect using that. Okay, and the whole connection we'll just call it as SMTP. Okay, now SMTP dot login. So now we have this client details, port address, everything is there. Now we will log in, and for login we have already created email user and password, right? So for an email, so email methods take this two arguments. So first argument is email user that we created, comma, email password, right? So this SMTP login, this method take email, two arguments we can pass, and first is like email user and email password will pass. Okay, so now we have our email ID, and don't forget, guys, this is like, if I talk about here, right, this taking my email ID. Okay, so, and here I have a email. I mean my Gmail password. Gmail password is here. So this is stored in the environment variable. So if you've not seen, I'll put a link in the description, check it out. Okay. And second thing is, like, this email password is not your email password. I will encourage you to not use your Gmail password. You can also generate your, to connecting with a client, you can generate a password. Gmail gives you that option. Okay, so to that, you can go to this myaccount.google.com app passwords, right? And this is where you have to go. And you see, I have already created app password for email Python, right? For email Python, I already created this, right? And if you see, you have to generate it. So you can select like mail and whatever device you want to use, okay, and then click on generate. It will generate a password. Use that password in the password to store in the environment variable, not your own password. You can use this, so it is not affecting, and you can use that here as a app password. Okay, so I'll suggest you go do and use that. I'll put this link also in the description, so it's easy to use. Okay, and so this is my Gmail account. You see, there is nothing unread here. Okay, so okay, so we have this ready, we have a login also ready. So now we have to only send, right? Because we have not created anything to send. So in the same loop, I'm going to write something for send, and SMTP, and if you see, send send message, right? So I'm seeing this send message also there, send message, and what we want to send, we want to send everything inside the message, right? So message, right? Okay, now we have all the imports, we have a user ID and password details, we have a context of the bot, I mean, we have the content of the body and who to send and what to send is there. Now we are able to connect, and the all details, client details and everything is here. And now here finally we are sending the message, right? So now let me run this, and hopefully we will be able to send a message from my email. Okay, so it ran without any error. So if you see, I opened a Gmail account, and you see my message is already here. And you see, be prepared, all the best. And the heading is interview. And it came to my email ID. This is my email ID, guys. So what I will do, now I'm going to add this email ID, this too, right? I'll just put my email ID. So it is little bit clear. Okay, so my email ID. And if you're writing for your script, just change this email ID to yourself, or I'll be keeping getting all those emails. So just do that, guys, before before sending this. So now I've changed to mine, and this should behave the same, right? This should behave the same. So let me just run this. Okay, so if you see here, I got another email, and it just came 0 minutes ago, right? 7:04. The time is 7:04. It just came. Okay, so now the next thing is, next thing what I want to do is I want to add some attachments. To do that, now in message, we want also to attachment to go, right? So for that, I'll create another variable. I'll just call it files. Okay, and this files is a list of my files. If I want multiple attachments or one attachment, this will help us to get it through. Okay, now I already have if let me just show you few files I have already kept here. This is book1.xlx, and there is a letter.pdf. So I'm just going to show both one Excel file and one PDF file. You can do it for any kind of attachment. I'm going to do that for this one. Okay, and I already copied in the same folder, so I don't have to add any location from my drive. If you're using any particular location for your drive, then you use that location. Okay, now let me copy this. Okay, and okay, so I have it in master class, and this is letter.pdf, which I'm taking. Okay, so okay, now let me run this. No, sorry, this files we have kept, but we have not, not processed this file. We have not read this files. I'm just given the location. So let me create another loop, because if you have a more than one file, then probably we need to create a loop. So for this one also, what I will do, I'll go ahead and create a loop. Okay, so for file in files, okay, for every file in files, what I want to do, first thing, like I will open it. So with open, okay, this file into RB mode, read byte. Okay, and the complete, okay, 1 second, read byte. Okay, let me just move this one. Okay, read byte, and this open as, keep it as F. Okay, now second is like, when we send information, if there is a file, then there are two things with the file, right? First thing is the name of the file, and second thing is what is the data inside the file, right? And the maybe third thing you can call it is a what type of the file, what is the type of the file, right? So same thing, first thing is like we want to read it. So let me just file underscore data, one variable I'm going to create, and this variable will read it, f dot read. Okay, and second thing is like file name, file underscore name equal to f dot name. So this file name, whatever the file name is, right? F is what I'm just reading it, right? So whatever is the name of that file, set the same file name. Okay, now now this attachments needs to be added to the message, correct? I mean, this attachment needs to go to the our message, this message that we are using, right? MSG here, right? So now in the same with loop, I'm sorry, outside this with loop, I'm just going to, right, message dot add. See, add attachment is already there, add attachment, and here we have to just provide what is the file data, what is the, if, I mean, generally you provide this main type, subtype, so if the file it's reading, it is just able to open it properly. Okay, so I'm just going to provide that quickly. File data, which is there, and the main type. Just follow this along, guys. This main type and subtype, no need to worry. Now, this you can just provide, and this. So if this might be different if you're using different types, but this will work for most of this. So the generic is this one, so it will work for most of it. So main type is the application, and subtype is octet stream. So just follow it along. Okay, and finally the file name. Our file name is what do you call file name is actually the file underscore name, right? So file underscore name. Okay, so we have the file data, main type, subtype, and the file name. File name is also there. Okay, so now we have the attachment, and now when we are sending this message, this attachment will be also added. Okay, so let me just run this. Yeah, so this came here, and the message and everything is be prepared, all the best, and you see there is an attachment to this one. So attachment is also added now, right? So now let's move to like if you have more than one attachment, what you can do, right? This is one attachment only. If you have more than one attachment, then what we have to do, and that is no difference than simply adding you know anything in the file, because we have already created this files variable, right? And this file variable we have created because of that reason. I can directly provide a file and read it and do all this stuff, but we have provided this files here, and which will help us now, right? So next thing is like I'll just add another file, and that's it, guys. I mean, there is nothing needs to do any, I mean, apart from. Okay, I'll just show you quickly. In masterclass I have book1.xlx, right? So now I have two files here. In files I have two, I'm reading two files from the same location, right? And this loop will take care of, if I have a 10 files also, it will take care, it doesn't need to. That's why I just given this application type and subtype. This is very generic, and it should work with this file. Okay, let me run this now. I am at my Gmail, right? I just refreshed it, and I see there is another email which I got, and this, you see, interview, be prepared, all the best, and this has two files. You can see this in the short description, right? And you see here there are two attachments. One is the XLX attachment, and the other one is the PDF one, right? And if you see here, it actually tells you that it's PDF or this XLX. So the type, the name, you see name and everything is working. Masterclass book1.xlx, right? You can change it. I mean, if you want to have only the name, right, you can just keep it here. It will only the letter.pdf. So you see everything is coming without any issue. You can also download it. It is like a simple attachment. So from here there is no difference. Okay, so I think this is the way you can actually send any emails, and so there are, this way is the easiest way. Only with like 15 to 20 lines of code you can, you know, send multiple attachments, use your user ID password which is hidden, and you can open and send it. So this just see 24 lines of code where, I mean, we have a lot of imports and getting this passwords also. So it's very easy to go with, and I use this a lot if I'm working like basically when you're connecting with different types of client. So I'm using connecting here Gmail client, right? If you're connecting with different types, so this information will change. The way of authenticating and authorizing will change, guys, but rest of the part is like as it is. You should get the idea of how we can send emails through using Python. So that's it for this class. If you want to support my channel, please like the video. If you have any questions, put it on a comment. I try to reply back. And if it's required any video, if you're looking for any particular video, I can create it. So do let me know. Like this video, this help the channel. Thank you.